Hello everybody, this is Di Antinatalist, and this is going to be a conglomeration video of just many things that I want to talk about. And say hello Valentine, say hello baby girl. I'm going to speak about why this pandemic is so hard for people, and I'm going to also speak about what we identify with. And I just want to start off by saying that there's no way that I could love a child as much as I could love these babies, these adopted babies. No way. They are just so sweet, and I just love animals so much, and I just know that I would see fault and regret if I had a child, and I would always be really disappointed if I had a child. And disappointments are something that parents shudder from, and they repress and they deny, but yet they are very disappointed most of the time with their offspring. But having pets, having many pets, having adoptable pets, I have adopted rats, cats, and dogs, mostly dogs. I had a few cats in the past, and they had to be isolated from dogs, but overall, cats and dogs just have issues being with each other. Cats can hurt dogs, and dogs can hurt cats. But one year, I decided to adopt some rats, and I actually got them from a guy who bred rats to feed snakes. So I got 3 rats, and they lived for actually 3 years. They actually died within 3 months of one another. They all had breast tumors, which I've heard is like the main reason why rats die. So anyway, they had ulcerated tumors, and it was really pathetic at the end. But anyway, they lived actually a very long life for rats, and they lived their complete life, and they lived a good life because I took care of them. And so I just know for a fact that if I had children, they would not have compared to the love I have for dogs. And I know that my own selfishness would not have interfered with my love for dogs, because even though I had a mini-me, a carbon copy and a replica, a DNA trophy, that would not have skewed my favor for the child in lieu of the animals that I have adopted and the animals that I potentially could have adopted. I just value animals. I value their spirit and their soul and their love and their genuineness, and their fairness, and their lack of, their integrity. I think people, in general, people have a lack of integrity and lack of morals. And I think overall humanity is very small-minded, and I think people cannot see above their own egos to assess fairness or assess reason or logic. So therefore, I prefer animals, and I think animals are very fair and respectable. I don't think humanity overall is respectable. So anyway, let me show you my earrings here, and this is quite a unique a situation here. These earrings are Kate Spade. And I was so lucky to have found these after months of purchasing them in New York City. This is the Empire State Building. And I had ordered them. I had bought them in New York City and had them shipped. Now, incidentally, they were not shipped to the proper address, and These were found by a lawnmower of mine, and a guy who said, Diane, I think you have some packages. And he located them, and he says they look like they're unopened. And so sure enough, there you go, pretty girl. Look at you. Look at you run. So I went to retrieve the boxes, and sure enough, these were the long lost Kate Spade earrings that I was desperate to locate, and I didn't even know what happened. I just thought, you know, that they were just lost somehow, and I was really desperate to recover the earrings. And I looked online, I looked on Posh, I looked on eBay, I looked on every resource I could possibly find to locate another pair and purchase them. But countrywide and, you know, nationally, globally, they were sold out. And I can see why. Yeah, they're so beautiful, and I love them. I was so glad to have gotten them. And actually, the woman I bought them from in the Kate Spade Rockefeller location told me that I had received, this was actually the last pair in the company. So they were so popular, and they were sold out. And I bought them around Christmas. But luckily, they were found yesterday by my lawnmower, who said, Diane, these boxes are in a really, really strange location. Odd. I mean, some things in life we just never know, you know, the hows, the whens, the wheres, the whys. It's just baffling. It's just totally baffling. And so also a pair of sneakers that I had bought from Phoenix. This was just so weird. It's just unexplainable why these items ended up in this location. But anyway, they're found, and the application to the earrings to this particular video is that I'm relating these earrings to my identification to my country. And I identify as an American. I identify as a North American in particular. But I don't think I would ever leave my country. If I left my country, it would, you know, have to be North America. There you go. The only place I think I would actually be happy living in would be Canada or possibly Mexico. And Mexico would be a really, really huge change for me. But so I want to connect our identification to this pandemic, and that the fact that some of us are just very, very lost in where we are at this moment is because our identification has been transformed, and it has been changed and altered. And much as I felt very comfortable finding these earrings because I identify as an American, and being that I lived in Manhattan for a couple of years once, I identify with New York City. I have very, very fond memories of New York City. I felt that some of the greatest people in the world were in New York City. New York City has just a wonderful spirit, a very helpful spirit. And that spirit is not alive in the place that I live now. The place that I live now is very deprived. It's spiritually deprived. The people are just overall a horrid form of humanity. They are just you know, oppressed and bitter souls, and just sour. The most sour people in the world are from Pittsburgh. Yes, that's a fact. It's just a deplorable, hateful community, and it's an insular community, and it's not, and I'm going to use this word loosely, but it's not a Christian community. So for those of you who are from the South, overall the religion is Christian. Now, I'm not promoting Christianity at all, but I'm saying that there's a huge diversity between Christians and Catholics, and this particular region I live in is Catholic. And I am not impressed, to say the least. I am very disappointed in Catholics, and they do not have Christian spirits, and they were not raised with the same you know, feelings and helpfulness and forgiveness and what am I trying to say here? Yeah, my videos are full of aren't they? But Christians were a much helpful people overall. They were caring, they were compassionate, they were empathic, they were sympathetic. Not so with the Catholic community. I'm very, very disappointed in the place that I live, and I mean, there are many, many good things about this region. There's a lot of land, there's like a lot of freedom, but overall, the community I live in, I would say they're just extremely unwelcoming and sour. And it's predominant, and other people who are transplants to this region feel the same way. And I've even been told that, you know, people around here lived next door to people that they've never met, they never even waved to, and I can definitely see that. I'm not saying that it's in every neighborhood. I'm saying that it's a generalization of the Pittsburgh, the Western Pennsylvania area. But let me get back on track here. I was talking about the pandemic and some of the isolation that people feel, and the fact that they identify with particular things. And I identify with my country. I identify with the places I go out to eat. I identify with the foods that I eat. So I was really, really, really grateful to have gotten these earrings and found them after months of missing them, after months of searching for them online to purchase again. But some of us are very despondent because the people we had contacted with before the pandemic, we are not able to see, we are not able to reach. Some people live across the borders, and the borders are locked down. Some people are local, and, you know, we have to wear masks or remain 6 feet apart to be able to see them. So we are reliant upon delivery services for food or medical pharmaceuticals. In fact, I had a televisit from a doctor the other day. And of course, it wasn't something major where I would have to be, you know, seen in person or, you know, manipulated or blood pressure taken or anything like that. It was just a consult. And so just not being able to drive to the medical facility and to the doctor's office and park and like go in and be around humanity. And it's just quite isolating. And it just feels like we're trapped. It feels like we're imprisoned. It feels like we're you know, in total isolation, even if we aren't in isolation. Like right now, I'm at the park, and there are some people out walking, and a lot of people take their dogs, a few people bring their children, but it is very, very different than a typical life in America or in the world, globally, in your own country. Typically on a day, I might even go to the mall, I might go visit a friend at a restaurant, or I have a couple of friends that I would show up to their homes and possibly bring them something from the store. Or this woman I brought some flowers to. And, you know, even now it's just like there's this kind of mistrust or anxiety among seeing other people in person. And like even people who are close friends, they're just wary, or they're not shaking hands, they're not kissing, they're not hugging, they're not seeing each other as often as they used to. And you know, I have brought my friend some gifts and some food and some flowers and put them on her doorstep, which I would never do in the past. I would you know, personally hand them to her. And There's no malls, there's no Apple store. The Apple store is at the mall, so everything is delayed, and doctor visits, dentist visits, they're all delayed. Salons are something I miss greatly. During this couple of months of isolation, I would have already gone to the salon at least once for a hair trim. I would have had my nails done at least 4 or 5 times during this the isolation of the pandemic. And so everybody's routine has been sabotaged. And I even spoke to a woman who has a child and grandchildren, and she's practically housebound. She's a little older than me, but so she's, you know, pretty much housebound as it is, but she's not even able to see her child or her grandchildren because of fear of contamination. So even though she's used to you know, watching videos at home or being online all day, her life is curtailed, and her life is overshadowed by this pandemic. And so it is that which we are accustomed to identifying with that makes us who we are. And it is the identification of those who are close to us, or the world that we know, whether it's a mall, whether it's a career, whether it's a business, whether it's travel, whether it's reading, whether it's, you know, mingling with friends, or sports affiliations or concerts. I can tell you that I have lost the ability to see 4 different concerts, and I just realized that also the Rolling Stones, which is was just coming in June. I had great front row tickets to the Rolling Stones. I had 4 tickets, and the Rolling Stones has postponed their concert to next year, which is really, really unfortunate. I mean, who knows what next year holds for any of us? Who knows if we're going to be here? Who knows if the bands are going to be intact or going to be alive? So, you know, it's just very sad for me to, you know, I have to postpone all of these things, and to miss out on great concerts and great bands. And so I identify with bands, and I identify with concerts and music, and eating out. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, this is Cinco de Mayo. And for all my Mexican Latino friends, and I love the Latino people, I'm so sorry that on Cinco de Mayo, which is a celebration, a historic celebration, and it's come to be a celebration of drinking and eating and festivities. But every 5th of May, it is a celebration that, you know, Americans just love, and it's a celebration that Americans actually enjoy more so than Latinos, or you know, people in Mexico, or Central America, or Spain, whatnot. So it's an American celebration, but we really love to come out and you know, celebrate and eat and drink. And so today everything's closed, and so Cinco de Mayo is lost. This is like the first year ever, you know, that the celebration has, you know, been postponed because of the pandemic. So I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed that I'm missing out on food and drink. And I have some ingredients to make margaritas at home, but I don't have one ingredient, and it's at the liquor store, and liquor stores are closed, so I don't even have a supply to make a complete version of the margarita that I like. And my friend Inyo, although he's doing takeout at where he works, he is not able to make me my favorite margarita. So he makes the best margaritas in the world. And I have seen him. I actually, you know, saw him the other day wearing a mask and keeping social distance. Well, a brief hug, that is. But I saw my friend Inyo and Tony and Henry But things just are not the same. And it's not the same getting curbside pickup or delivery or wearing a mask. It's just, this is not even fun, folks. It's, it depletes, the enjoyment of it all. It just feels like we're, incarcerated. And so it just feels like, there's a certain amount of boredom with this pandemic. And I'm not even a one to get bored. Like, I have many things to do, have many things that I enjoy. Even though I'm an antinatalist, I have many aspects of life I enjoy. I mean, I skate, which, yeah, I can't even go to the roller rink. I can skate outdoors, but it's just not the same. I like to skate, I like to ice skate, but, you know, anybody who is involved in a sports has been definitely curtailed because of social distancing and because of contact sports are prohibited. But I enjoy many things about life. Now, that doesn't make me less of an antinatalist. It makes me see the harm in not being able to enjoy the sports that I enjoy, which are bicycling, skating, you know, swimming, and all the swimming pools are closed. Yeah. Yeah, so swimming pools are closed, even in hotels. So yeah, it really sucks. Like, I went to a hotel the other day, downtown Pittsburgh, and I thought, you know, I thought something would be open, but no, all of their facilities were closed. They had the bar, the restaurant, and the room service was shut down. So even that was not the same. So this pandemic has affected everybody universally. It has affected young and old, rich and poor, and middle class, and everybody. So life is just overall harm, folks. It is, you know, it's a tragedy to have been placed into existence. I'm wearing another, this is my lovely poncho that I've created, and I found this at an estate sale for only a couple of bucks. And I have written on here with paint, more condoms, less coffins. Vasectomies prevent all harm. And on the back, which is very visible to everybody walking in the park behind me, it says, reproduction is murder. So, yes, reproduction is murder. It's murder, folks. When you reproduce, you are no longer innocent. And only the child-free are the blame-free. Only the child-free are, let's see, they're blame-free and they've created no harm. They are, see, I can't even think anymore. I must be getting old. They call these brain farts, or they call them senior moments. So yeah, in about a year or so, I'll be 60. So I guess I'm having these brain farts. But overall, my mental status is pretty good, and my memory is really good, except I just cannot remember some words, and that's why I'm always stalling, and that's why I'm not a very good speaker. So, you know, I'm bold to do these videos because I don't think I'm a very good speaker at all. And when I look back at videos, I think they pretty much suck. And actually, it's embarrassing. I am totally embarrassed. And it just blows my mind that I'm still doing videos because my aptitude for speaking in front of the public is very poor. In fact, in class, I took a grade less because I was so petrified of speaking in front of the public. And all during school, I was extremely shy. And my second grade teacher called me out in front of the class and called me the shyest girl in the class. So yes, I was very shy for years and years. But now I'm extremely bold. And but that doesn't make me less shy. I'm still, like, you know, reserved sometimes and awkward. So Oh yeah, so here, I just remember what I was going to say. The child-free are guilt-free and blame-free. And you cannot hold any innocence if you had children, because once you have biological children, you are responsible for the world. So, thank you for watching this far. If you've held on to my rambling for 25 minutes and 12 seconds. And happy Cinco de Mayo, and I hope everybody is able to have the margarita or the beer or, you know, the wine of their choice and celebrate today, even if you're not a big, you know, Mexican fan or fan of Mexican food, or even if you don't even celebrate Cinco de Mayo. But it's a big loss for me, losing out on the celebration of Cinco de Mayo. I always dress up and I always try to look as Latina as I can. I have these beautiful dresses from Mexico, and I try to play up my brunette status and try to look as Latina as possible, but unfortunately it's not going to happen today. And it's actually a cold day. I'm wearing this coat like it's a poncho. It's about 50 degrees and a bit windy, so we're not even having the normal weather patterns that we normally have in this particular part of the season. I mean, it's usually like hot and humid by now. But anyway, everybody, thanks for watching me, and thanks for subscribing, and happy Cinco de Mayo, no matter what country you're in. And I hope everything gets better for all of us soon, and I hope we're able to, you know, meet our friends and go out to restaurants and malls and play sports and mingle with people and do whatever we did before, and to continue our identification with our nationality or our culture. So blessings to everybody, and I'm hoping this pandemic and isolation comes to an end, and that you know, people quit contracting this horrible disease and quit dying, because life is harmful enough, though we don't need a pandemic, right? Thank you for watching.